Nigeria was once ranked amongst the leading palm oil producing nations in the world and was a key exporter of the commodity, but it is now ranked fifth, producing less than 2% of global palm oil supply. Recently, palm oil prices have been rising globally. What does this mean for Nigeria? Adeye Adebusi, research analyst with financial derivatives company, will take us through this. Hello, Adeye. Thank you very much for joining us. Good afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
So Nigeria, once a leading producer of palm oil, is now fifth. What is the reason for this, and what lessons can Nigeria learn from the current top producers of this commodity like Indonesia and Malaysia?
In the 50s and 60s, Nigeria produced about 43% of global palm oil production. However, in 2020, Nigeria produced only 1.28 million tons of palm oil, which constituted only about 2% of world palm oil production. The decline in palm oil production can be attributed to the exploitation of crude oil in the 1960s. This decline, there has also been a decline in other agricultural cash crops like rubber and cotton. However, in 1966, Malaysia and Indonesia surpassed Nigeria in terms of palm oil production. Both of them combined now produce about 80% of the world's palm oil production. Indonesia and Malaysia have successfully invested in research, development, and the use of machinery to boost production. They have also used a palm oil council or corporation that has been able to aid finance, research as well, and promote cooperation between producers in the industry. There's also the percentage that they levy from the export duties. They're also replowed and are reallocated back into the sector to aid finance for both small and large-scale producers.
Now, Adeye, recently we're seeing palm oil prices rising. I mean, since the end of 2020, and so far it has increased by 19.63% in the first 9 months of 2021. What is responsible for this upward trend?
Palm oil prices have risen to all-time highs in 2021. Palm oil price went as high as $1,100 per ton in May. The rise in palm oil prices can be linked to decline in production from the top exporters, Malaysia and Indonesia. Labor shortages and poor weather have affected their crop condition this year. The average yield of crop in Malaysia has reduced drastically from about 1.56 tons per hectare in 2020 to 1.41 tons per hectare in 2021. Also, palm oil processing mills across Malaysia and Indonesia have been affected by coronavirus-related restrictions, which have seen shortfalls in production. We expect palm oil prices to continue to rise throughout the year due to rising coronavirus cases in Malaysia, which will affect production, and there'll be a shortfall labor in this current planting season. In terms of the Nigerian industry, Nigerian palm oil producers have experienced increase in revenues over the past few years due to the global rising prices and the ever-present demand for palm oil in Nigeria. Companies like Fresco and Okumu have increased their production and processing capabilities over the past few years. In the first quarter of 2021, Okumu's revenue increased by nearly about 50% to 12.9 billion naira, while Fresco's revenue increased by 47.5% to 7.6 billion naira in the first quarter of the year.
Now, in spite of its numerous import substitution policies and strategies, Nigeria is still a net importer of palm oil and losing its global ranking as a leading producer. what can be done to make these strategies, more effective?
In 2020, Nigeria consumed 1.74 million metric tons of palm oil, while it only produced 1.26 million metric tons, which creates a deficit of about nearly 500,000 metric tons of palm oil. And in order to make up for this deficit, we have to import from abroad to satisfy our local demand. Palm oil has been added to a list of commodities that have been banned access to forex for importation. This saw palm oil production increase by 13% to 1.28 in 2020 from 1.1 million metric tons in 2018. However, there is still a need for the government to provide a feasible plan to reduce our import content and realize our export potential. Especially in the agricultural sector, the government can provide financial subsidies, inputs, and machineries to help boost production amongst the local and rural farmers in the country. She said that if Nigeria maintained our market strength in palm oil years ago, we would have been earning around $20 billion annually from palm oil production and processing.
All right, thank you very much for your time at day here. We do appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you.